to plug it in, and it's like, oh yeah, this printer's obsolete now. They don't even make drivers for this anymore.
I probably have 7 of them. I just don't even try them.
Okay, yeah.
Let them disintegrate in the garage. But I get your point, yeah.
Yeah, well, this guy, he was a jockey, became paralyzed, unfortunately. Went and got an exoskeleton, whatever they call things. And
what is that, by the way?
It's like, have you ever seen that movie Elysium where Matt Damon has that like robot skeleton installed where you can still walking around?
Yeah, see, it's almost like a jacket that you put on.
It's kind of almost, yeah, kind of. It attaches to your back, obviously. They have to fuse some stuff, and it kind of works as like a robot spine.
So robots are good.
Yeah, robots are good.
In this case. Until
he woke up one morning and a part failed on his exoskeleton. I keep saying the wrong things. I'm dumb. And he goes in. He's like, "Hey, this part is faulty or whatever. It's not working." They're like, "Oh, well, that part's obsolete now. So sorry."
You're back to not being able to move again.
Yeah.
Oh, no big deal. Yeah, I'll just good. Okay. What?
He said he paid $100,000. Now, I don't know if he paid it cash or how he got it, but it was a $100 machine. This little contraption, $100,000.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't know what to do because he has to start all over again. He has to get a whole new machine.
Where are robots banned? Because I have an example I saw today on social media. Do you have one?
I think robots will be bad if it gets to the point where, like, I feel like hybrid people is going to be the future where we have like robot parts in us, but we're not full robot. I feel like when it goes full robot, it'll be bad though.
Because they can take over.
Exactly that. And I think, I don't know, it'll just cause a lot of problems. The economy will fail. And I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be pretty bad at some point. It's going to be worse before it gets better type of thing.
We've talked about you over on Comp. I mean, those are every shift for you on that FM station. It's excruciating in terms of the detail and the prep.
Yes.
You have to deliver a lot. But we've also talked about AI developing where we can probably have not only AI DJ, but AI DJ who can cover like 40 markets.
Dude, they're doing it already. You could just take your voice and record it. And I mean, what are we on for? Some of those stations you're on 30 seconds at a time.
Sure.
All they need your voice for a few bits, few sentences.
But they need your voice, so then you're even more valuable, aren't you? You're going to get the money.
I guess, but they were doing commercials with like fake Tom Cruise voices, like the Russians during the Olympics. They just used his voice, and it wasn't even him. And they were making fake commercials and spreading them all over the place. So apparently, all they needed is one time. Like I think they took your voice off the radio, and they could probably just use that.
Along those lines, did you see the news yesterday that that opening song to Snuff, the Sunday Night Football by Carrie Underwood, she gets $1 million a game when that plays?
Dude, the best thing is she records them all the same day.
Yep.
I can't even do that in a day in advance here.
Are there more than like a couple of hundred people around the country who would care if they just got someone else?
Absolutely not. In fact, it's one of the worst songs I've ever heard. It's a terrible song. It's an awful, awful country song. And I feel like they're wasting their money, but nobody cares apparently. A lot of money wasting going on.
I mean, Pink did the first version of it. I like Pink.
Yeah.
Bring Pink back.
Dude, there was that one guy who got fired for being racist. I forget his name, but he was doing it for a long time, too. I don't know what he got out of it.
Kind of famous. Hank Williams Jr.?
Yeah, there you go. Thanks so much.
But by the way, I think we're pretty good with almost everything you said, so we could just AI him again.
There you go. See? AI that guy.
You know what, Griffin, for our Monday night audio package, we probably need to bring some Hank Jr. back just for Salerno. Even if he's not on, just to honor Salerno and the fact that he has angst over the Monday Night Football song and Hank Jr. going down in flames.
Sounds good. I'm going to plan on it.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Boy, this is a great topic, and I've tried to come up with answers over the years, but they're mostly selfish.
Yeah.
There's a big retirement in tennis. Who retired?
Nadal. Right?
22 majors.
Oh, okay.
When I heard that, I was like, wow, that's a lot. I don't think I watched him for more than an hour combined in whatever it's been now, 18 years. And you were asking a question about what, tennis now and tennis back in the day.
Yeah, when I was young, it was like, whatever. Bjorn Borg or whatever was like a famous guy. Like, these people that were like good tennis players were famous. Everybody knew who they were.
Yep.
And now I kind of feel like we don't even know. I don't even know who the best tennis player in the world is right now.
What happened?
I don't know.
We just get old and we just find different interests?
I guess so. It's kind of weird because you would think that's kind of a sport that would stick around. It's not like I can understand like how Pop Warner less kids play because of concussions or whatever. There's like a reason for things. I don't get tennis because you can still be a perfectly healthy young man and woman and play tennis for a long time. I don't get it. I don't know why the tennis has gone away.
Well, for the longest time, I was like, oh, because there's not American stars, but there's been American stars. So that's
absolutely there has. Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're so insular here in the United States. We only root for Americans. And like, there's been stars. There's been, and honestly, there's a lot of drama characters in tennis. So they still have, McEnroe and Nastase and Jimmy Connors were all, real up and down and lunatics.
Yeah.
Maybe was one of the, I don't think I watched it because I think it was just sort of like augmenting the show that, a TV type show with tennis. The fact that they brought those Hawkeye machines in that address the lines, because I feel like with some of the players that was like a quarter of the match was just yelling at the judge or yelling at the person in the chair or just whipping tennis balls at little kids who were trying to run the ball over. They got rid of that, and is that why the sport went down?
I guess. I mean, McEnroe screaming at people was a huge part of tennis for a long time, but again, I knew who the other guys were too, and they weren't like that. Like Andre Agassi wasn't like throwing knives at people in the crowd and stuff, and I still watched for some reason. I knew who he was. I don't know.
Or is it, is it one of those sports that simply was never good, but we didn't know about other sports and other better sports have just replaced it?
I guess that's possible. Yeah. I mean, now they have 30 variations of each sport too. So like there's like disc golf now and golf, and then they have like, what's that pickleball one that's kind of like tennis, but not really.
Kind of like tennis, yep.
Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Griffin, you're outside of football, you're pretty much a non-athlete, as we found out the other day, because you can't swing a bat or hit a ball.
Really?
You're a big person. Did you ever try tennis?
No interest in it at all. Although I will say,
hand-eye, you don't have it.
I got no. I got the hand-eye. It's the
you couldn't hit a baseball. You can't hit a baseball. You
It's
can't play tennis.
It's the interest to be good at it. That's why I was never good at the baseball, because I just didn't care to get better at it. Football. Go ahead.
I know. How did you find out you couldn't hit a ball though? When did this happen? What happened?
When I first started trying out sports as a young chubby.
Oh, I thought you
boy.
did something on the show.
No. I discovered baseball before I discovered football, but I tried baseball first, and I was getting hit in the head with the baseball. I was missing on the bat. I was getting called out by all the parents. It wasn't good.
All right.
Number two.
I
mean, on a football Friday, I could do another 45 minutes on tennis.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. I want to do 45 seconds on this one because I'm sick of the story already, but I know it's a gigantic story. You are in for the first time in a couple of days, Salerno.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, just innocent bystander, right, with Bob Saleh?
It's funny because when this stuff happens, people automatically assume like a LeBron or an Aaron Rodgers or somebody is, they call him the GM or whatever, or Aaron Rodgers is the GM there. I don't know how much he had involved in it, but when you push your coach and then 2 weeks later he gets fired, it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, how in the world can you deny you're involved? Steve, as a Jets fan, are you happy he's gone because it kind of unleashes Rodgers, or are you sad because it shows there's more problems than what there was?
Well, let's address the second thing you said. It unleashes Rodgers? How?
Well, unleashes is, let's say he's a mercurial, I don't know, I can't talk, but let's say his mind isn't right, and you get rid of the coach, and for whatever reason, whether Aaron Rodgers is wrong or not, it makes him feel better. Is that better for the team?
Yeah, but here's the thing. The timeline sounds like Saleh informed people in the organization that Nate Hackett, Rodgers' buddy, is going to get demoted from OC. They're going to bump up Todd Downing, who, by the way, does not really have a track record of some bang-up offensive coordinator.
Right.
So then Rodgers apparently goes around Saleh, goes to Woody Johnson. He's like, what's going on here? What do you mean Hackett's going to be bye-bye? So then Woody, of course, is the bad owner, so he reacts, and he's like, hey, my quarterback, $50 million a year. You know what? This coach, I don't like him that much anyway. Let's get rid of him. And then the replacement, Jeff Ulbrich, comes in, the existing DC, now he's head coach, and he's like, you know what? I like that idea. Guess what, Hackett, you're demoted. And then they acted like, then they're like, oh, Hackett's a professional, man. He could have just left the organization, but he's going to stay around.
Yeah, because everybody wants him.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he? I don't want to say anything bad about Hackett because I think, I don't think a lot of people take him seriously as a coach. I don't think he's been a very good head coach or offensive coordinator anywhere. I think he was the beneficiary of Rodgers being awesome. He was a disaster as the HC in Bronco land, and when I saw him on Hard Knocks, like, he was hard to take serious. So basically now he's just going to be like executive assistant, but all football for Aaron Rodgers and just hang around him.
I think I heard somewhere that he's going to be demoted to basically not working with Aaron Rodgers like an OC does typically week to week. He's not
Don't go
gonna-
near him.
no say on what they're going to do play calling wise. He's just going to be basically running the scout team. Like, why would I get your relationship with Rodgers, but why would you stick around for that? It's kind of embarrassing.
It is kind of embarrassing because he knows. And we'll throw in the other part of it. His dad, Paul Hackett, was an NFL coach. He was the coach at Pittsburgh and USC. So you kind of see how he got to where he is and maybe why he didn't take it very seriously, because there is no rock bottom when you're in that position. I'm sorry.
Number 1.
Go ahead, Greg. Finish up.
No, I was just going to say their schedule coming up isn't easy either. I'm looking at the Jets schedule. They got some tough games coming up. So in about 5 weeks, we might revisit this and just who knows what's going to be going on over there. All right.
Number 1.
We're prompting for more number ones. That's all we're doing there, Greg.
No, it's fine.
Last night, Niners get the job done. There's a pedigree there. Seattle still is Seattle and they're solid. That's a 500 club. Maybe they can be a couple wins better. But Geno Smith can get him to a level. He's not going to have him at a super high level. Deebo Samuel was back last night. He had a big game. Kittle had a big game. McCaffrey's probably on the way back, say 4 weeks. And then there's Purdy. So what do you think about the Niners from here forward?
Honestly, I'm shocked at how bad. Even last night, I don't think they looked that great. They didn't look like the Niners have this machine to them where it's kind of like you plug anybody in, they just look like a machine no matter what for the last few years. And it doesn't happen with a lot of teams. I mean, the Chiefs are probably the best team in the league, and they've been struggling with wins too. So who knows? But the Niners just don't look right to me. They don't look like the same team. I don't know what it is. They obviously have a lot of injuries and stuff, but it doesn't look as easy as it did before for them.
You know, it's weird when you lose your best player.
Well, yeah.
It happens sometimes. It's McCaffrey. We'll address that on the way back. Do a giveaway here. We got a 2-foot classic sub from Porta Subs, your neighborhood sandwich shop. Caller 7 gets the 2-foot classic from Porta Subs, 2-foot classic sub. 364-1100, 364-1100. Caller 7. Griffin has got your back. He'll hook you up.
This traffic report brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Las Vegas, off the 215 east of Rainbow.
Be aware, starting Sunday at 9 p.m. and going through Saturday, October 19th.